Magic is cool, but what's good if the main character is still in the learning phase and cannot cast any magic spells at all? Well, don't worry, because today I'm bringing 10 magic fantasy anime where the main character excels in magic and can take down opponents within seconds. Messing with these guys would certainly mean death. As usual, we plan on bringing more videos in the future, so don't forget to stay tuned by hitting the subscribe button along with the bell notification. Okay, let's go and see 10 magic fantasy anime with guys who have both the muscle and magic. Number 10, Musagen no Phantom World.
One by one, these children were born. Just like you and I, they were given special abilities genetically designed to fight these phantoms.
What happens when your perspective is changed? Supernatural entities such as ghosts or yokai have been living among humans, but nobody notices them. Things change when a virus affects human brains and lets them see other spiritual creatures. Haruhiko Ichijo and Mai Kawakami are two students who learn in the Hoshi Academy about how to deal with spirits. Together, along with the friendly phantom Yu, they go on various adventures to fight off these evil spirits and help humanity. Even though this may have a normal premise, the show manages to blend in the supernatural themes well with its fantasy and magic themes, and you'll soon be hooked with these duos' adventures. Number 9, Broken Blade.
強弱はあるものの、人の手に宿る石英を使う力。人々はそれを魔力と呼んでいた。
Normally, in the overpowered niche, it is rare to see writers focus on world building since they want to write character-focused dramas. But Broken Blade is a show that is an exception. It happens on the continent of Cruzon, where an impending war between the kingdom of Krishna and the nation of Athens is putting the lives of people at stake. Here, the people can use objects known as quads to do anything that they desire. But along comes Rygart's Arrow, a person who cannot use these quads and is underestimated. But soon he realizes this actually plays for his advantage. His power allows him to pilot an ancient golem, one strong enough to put up a fight against the invading army of Athens. Want some good action, fantasy, as well as a well-developed magic system? Then this here is the show for you. Number 8, Record of the Grancrest War. Sometimes having an overpowered protagonist isn't just enough. You need some other elements to move the story forwards as well. In Record of Grancrest War, you've got a nice mix of politics mixed in to go with a plot with its overpowered protagonist. On one side, you've got the beautiful Siluka Miletes, finding a way to defeat the Demon Lord and impending chaos. And on the other hand, you have the skilled Theo Cornaro, who wants to liberate his village from evil. Even though chaos and a Demon Lord are the greater evil, it is the political struggles that run through Grancrest War's episodes. Theo is the overpowered character who doesn't hesitate to rescue the lady when needed. And rather than being another damsel in distress, Siluka is actually a smart girl who pulls off political schemes to climb the hierarchy. Number 7, Fairy Tail. Now, this one is a rather popular one, so you must have surely heard of this. This has a familiar role-playing game setting, so if you're a fan of fantasy, then this will definitely hook you up. It happens in a magical-filled world where adventure guilds take up quests and complete them. It starts off when Lucy Heartfiller runs into Natsu Dangneil and his partner Happy, who are on a quest to find Natsu's foster father, the dragon Igneil. But soon the scope expands and new characters are introduced. The duo soon joins the Fairy Tail Adventure Guild, and the anime follows their adventures as well as their struggles. If you need some fancy action anime with the regular shonen battle dose, then you should definitely check this one out. Number 6, Tales of the Abyss.
行きます。
Tales of the Abyss manages to combine a great premise to the usual fancy elements, and this is one of those factors that plays for its advantage. It happens during the war between the nation of Kimlaska Lavender and the Malkuth Empire in order to complete several prophecies that dictate the future of the world. Here we have Luke von Faber, a swordsman who has lost his memories and is locked away in a tower. When he clashes swords with a woman named Tia, the two of them are teleported to a distant land. Soon, Luke understands the connection between his travels and the prophecies that rule the world. Tales of the Abyss builds up its subtle mystery along with its action, and this is definitely an underrated show you should watch. Number 5. Tokyo Ravens. Most people use magic for their advantage, but what happens when magic is actually dangerous? On Myodo, magic was actually used during the Second World War, but after a disaster, it is only used minorly by the people. Here we meet Harutora, a member of the Tsuchi Mikado's branch family, a boy who has vowed to protect Natsume, the heir of the Tsukichi Mikado's main family. But since he has no magical powers, he plans to withdraw from the job. But things change as they learn about a mysterious person intending to destroy the world with magic once again. Now it's up to Natsume to take the hard decision, whether to face off the challenge or run away. Tokyo Ravens has much more mystery combined with its magical elements, and this combination is what creates the suspense and delivers an engaging show. Number 4. Wise Man's Grandchild. What is fantasy without isekai? And Wise Man's Grandchild can not only give you a great isekai anime, but some cool fantasy magic and world building as well. After Shin died in the present world, he's reincarnated as Shin Wolford in another fantasy world. Shin is the grandson of Merlin Wolford, who is one of the strongest magic users in the world, and obviously his strength was passed on to his grandson. Shin's power lies in using his knowledge of his past life to make him stronger, and a funny thing that is emphasized in the anime is that their Shin doesn't know his own boundaries of power, so he always ends up overdoing it. Not only Wise Man's Grandchild has an overpowered protagonist, but it also has an interesting cast of characters and is filled with both funny and action-packed moments. Number 3. Fate Apocrypha. If you've been ignoring this show because it doesn't belong in the original Fate series, then let me tell you, you're missing out on a lot. Fate Apocrypha uses the same Battle Royale themes similar to the original Fate series, but this time the Masters and Servants are divided into two factions known as the Black and Red factions. Among them is Sieg, a homunculi who escapes the lab and gains the power of Black Saber. The show follows the war between the two factions as they compete for the Holy Grail. Unlike many fantasy shows, Apocrypha doesn't just focus on one main character, but instead the narrative weaves a complex story that explains the backstories of both the servants and their masters. If you're missing sabers, magic and fate, then now would be a good time to give this one a watch. Number 2. Magi Labyrinth of Magic. Ever heard the story of Alibaba as a kid? Magi Labyrinth of Magic is a retelling of these classic tales, or sometimes story arcs that have gained inspiration from it. The story begins when a boy named Aladdin travels along the world with his friend named Ugo, and finds a boy named Alibaba, a boy who wants to explore the dungeon named Amon. The two become best friends, and the narrative moves on from there onwards, explaining their adventures one by one. It has a combination of a deep magic system, unlike other fantasy anime, and the way the writers combine fantasy elements with classical story elements is something truly unique only to this show. If you're a fan of One Piece adventure and some great world building, then Magi Labyrinth of Magic is the perfect anime to add onto your watch list. Number 1. Irregular at Magic High School. In most cases, it is rare to combine both magic and fantasy elements with a high school setting, but Irregular at Magic High School is an exception in this case. It follows the story of Tatsuya Shiba, who attends the same school as his sister and acts as her bodyguard. What's fascinating about Tatsuya is not only his godly power, but also the way he blends in magic with technology and combat skills to defeat his opponents. Apart from its overpowered protagonist, this anime also has a well-developed and complex magic system. So if you're a nerd for well-crafted magic systems, and also want to see a main character who has great potential, then give this one a go. You'll not regret it. Well, did you catch some good anime to watch? The magic fantasy genre is good on its own, but having an overpowered character only makes things more interesting. If you have any additions, don't forget to sound up below in the comments. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be updated as soon as we release a new video. Stay safe, anime fans, and I'll see you in the next video.